Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now today I want to share with you some Knightfall goodies. If you've seen my videos before, you may have come across the one where I talk about just how important Batman Knightfall, the story arc, but also the physical books are to me. They were such a lifesaver in high school when I was trying to come to grips with struggling to read a novel for pleasure. Much later on I found out that I was dyslexic, but it just so happened that in high school I found such pleasure in graphic novels and reading them and I was sort of basking in the images. It was just a wonderful, wonderful experience, and Knightfall sort of opened up that world for me. Well, Batman Knightfall is an incredibly important story, but because of that video, one person in particular got in touch and not only was asking questions but also actually had found something which they were wondering whether or not I wanted, and that thing arrived today. I am talking about this. I'll do a close-up of it in a moment, but it's a Corgi 1990s DC Comics Batmobile, and it's the Batmobile from the story arc of Knightfall. It's a wonderful, wonderful little car. The boot lifts up and inside you can see the engine. It's got the sort of Bat logo emblazoned on it. The seats inside have Bat logos on them. It's just a wonderful little toy car, and it's part of a series. There's a 1940s, 50s, 60s, 60s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s, sort of somewhat represented in toy form. But of all of those cars, this one was the most important. I didn't even know that they did a toy based on the Batmobile from Knightfall. So the person who got in touch wanted to remain anonymous, so that's fair enough, but thank you so much for that. This is going to have pride of place in the living room. I'm going to put it next to, I've got the Batmobile from the Arkham games, the Arkham Asylum game, and I'm going to put this next to that. I think it's still in the box. I think it's one of those rare cases or occasions where I'll just keep something in the box, mint. But thank you so much. It's a beautiful thing. And actually that got me thinking when I received it this morning. It occurred to me that actually there's something else linked with Knightfall which I didn't talk about previously, and that is the novelization. Now this also arrived in the post, but it arrived in the post from a friend who I lent it to in high school, and they just never gave it me back. It's the hardback copy of the novelization of Knightfall, written by Dennis O'Neil, who is a comic book writer, and it's a wonderful book. In fact, actually, it was the first written text novel that I ever read all the way through. And I think I did mention this in the previous video, and that is to say that because I'd read the graphic novel, I sort of knew what was going to happen, so it gave me an impetus to keep on going with the hardback, the text edition of the Knightfall story. This actually also introduced me to the fact that there was a part 3, and the fact that I had to go and get part 3 eventually, which I did in the graphic novel form. Now, one of the great things about this is that sometimes a chapter can just be 2 pages long. So I could quite happily go, okay, right, this evening I'll read. I'll just read a chapter, and that's sort of again what sort of kept it from being a chore to read was the graphic novel, in partnership with the fact that the novelization wasn't like an epic Lord of the Rings or War and Peace type thing. It's still a really good story and really good descriptions. It is its own thing, it's its own beast. So if you like Knightfall and you haven't ever tried the novelization, definitely give it a go. You get an awful lot more inside Bruce's head in this book. Incidentally as well, I really like that it's printed by Bantam Press, which is an anagram of Batman. Presumably, this is probably just a coincidence, but if it's not, that's really cool. Bantam Press, Batman Press, who knows? So, I just really wanted just to talk a little bit about these two beautiful things. Like I say, the novel was so important to me because it gave me that pride of having finished a novel, like a written storybook, even though I found reading really tiring, really taxing. There's a description when he's trying to squeeze back into the cave. I think this is just after, spoilers, just after John Paul Valley, I think, has taken on the mantle, and Bruce is trying to get back into the Batcave, and he's squeezing through this sort of this old geological formation to get in, and the description made me feel claustrophobic just reading it. It's also there's descriptions like him doing a full body workout just by sort of doing calisthenics, as it were, and sort of sitting, and it's hard. I don't know why that stuck in my head, but it did. Sitting and really sort of going through every muscle in his body, and it's well written. It's a well written story, and if you like Knightfall, definitely give it a read. Definitely give it a read. But again, thank you so much for that Batmobile. It's so cool, and it's definitely going to have a lovely spot in the lounge. So there you go, guys. Really, that's it for this video. I think I'm just wanted to share how excited I was when I opened that Batmobile up. It's so cool, so incredibly cool. As ever, until next time, do take care. Well, until then, bye bye. Also, try not to get your back broken by your arch nemesis. Yeah, that's probably part of the taking care bit. Bye.